Well, hello there. How are you doing? It is a beautiful Friday. I'd love to be outside doing this, but my other channel is not up yet. Perhaps later today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's talk about whatever you guys want. We'll see who shows up. Maybe we'll do something on writer's block. Well, I don't necessarily ever get writer's block nor lack things to talk about. However, when there's things that you're censored or not allowed to talk about, then that can become a little bit of a dilemma. So maybe we talk about solutions for people that do. If you are a writer or an orator or public speaker or something, of ways of or just if you like to think of, like, if you get stuck in your mind somewhere, what to do. It's a couple of easy ways to do it. It's about putting different inputs into your system. Or you could simply, if you don't have a book, if you don't have any TV to watch, you don't want to watch TV, just go through letters. Let's do a letter game. That's fun. Think of a word. Start with letter A. Go through some words and see what those words will trigger in your mind to talk about. It's a fun game to play. A lot of people use that usually in, say, if you're a freestyle rapper guy. you play the alphabet game where they throw out a word and rhyme something with it. But furthermore, you could just conceptualize whatever word you might want to use. So I have a few things that I wanted to do videos on, but I'm going to wait till I feel fully inspired to do those on my other channel. Because there really is no traction on this channel anymore. Not that there is on my other one, but it's quite funny. It's quite humorous. Although I will say, currency-wise, it's feeling lack of energy, and also I had a lack of money, currency, right? And how when you find some money in a pair of jeans that you just washed? I had a similar experience today, but it was quite a bit more energy. So I was like, look at this birthday gift. Totally forgot about it. It's like, how do you forget about that? I don't know. I mean, my mind works pretty well. I don't have early onset Alzheimer's. Early onset old timers. I wonder if that was an influential reason that they used the word Alzheimer's, because you could remember it just by thinking old timers. I don't know. Well, hello. I'm Zen, in case you did not know, and you are whoever you are sitting over there. It is currently 10:15 a.m. in the Northern Caribbean, as people would like to call New Orleans the Northern Caribbean. I think that's about correct. It's not quite the South, as anybody could probably that has lived in the South does not quite understand that it's not. You go, oh, the South. It's people that are, Southern hospitality. Oh my gosh. Branches, what's up? Yeah. You'd be called, if you had an Afro and cryokinesis, frozen. That's good. I like that. I mean, I might not even have to be cryogenically frozen. It could still be Afro Zen. Just if I did have an Afro, which even if I let my hair get as curly as possible, it's not that dreaded. I will dread out, but it doesn't get too Afro-y. Although it is a little messy right now. Afro and cryokinesis. I like it. I will work on some of my kinesis powers if I can freeze things. So what's up? What should we? Any ideas? Anybody out there with thoughts for the day? What to talk about? What do you want me to get into? Or for another show in the future? Because today I went out the other day and got a little bit of a sunburn. which has now worked its way into a decent coloring. So I go back out and sweat my person off because I think it's going to be at 95 today. Everybody else like 95 degrees, goddamn. Nope, I will not, and I do not complain about the heat because you're not allowed to go somewhere and go, oh, it's so cold, and then go somewhere and be like, oh, it's so hot. Like, then just, I don't know, what a moderate. Not that I'm not moderate at and middle of the line with my thinking most of the time, but I just don't like the cold. The cold is death. So then maybe I would be good at cryokinesis. So if I maintain, it's like think about the way a freezer or a refrigerator works. You build up all the heat, and the heat goes out of the heat sink in the back, and is actually removing the heat. So that's what's causing the cold inside. There's like a compressant right there. So maybe, because I do like the heat, maybe I could probably throw ice out of my hands. Interesting. Well, cheers to everybody. Welcome. I'm going to have, I got tequila for worldwide, realm-wide Tequila Day, and I shared most of the bottle. I still have a bunch left, so I figure I have a little halvesy shot in the morning. If you don't like tequila, I don't know what's wrong with you. Mm-hmm. Nice little vessel here. The holy hand grenade of vessels. I like it a lot. Maybe we talk about tequila. You guys want to talk about drugs and alcohol and weed, man? I don't know, I've done so many shows on that stuff. I think most people don't like tequila because it's always the end of the night and the last shot that somebody has, and like, oh, tequila ruined my night. I'm like, no, it did not. No, it did not. It was the fact that you had 25 beers and 6 shots and a screwdriver before that. That was the problem. It's what do they say? It's always the last one that gets you. What's up, Yataku? So yeah, I gotta go feed the ducks a little bit, and wow, good day, man. You know, I was feeling a little under. Oh, you got a new painting done? Nice, man. I did not know you did paintings. I always considered paintings, you know, the root word for painting is pain. So most people that do paintings are to get some pain out of them. Although it's kind of like writing. Great writers often are it's a release valve for like poets and writers. Usually it's some sort of trauma that influences the writing. Like most people aren't just writing there like, it's a beautiful, sunshiny, happy day. I mean, they can write that because they're trying to combat the terrors and anxieties of the world. But painters, same way. And most of the arts, there's that influence. It's the opposing force that gives great music, gives good art. Although sometimes people do paint they listen to the beautiful things, the birds chirping and all that. It's just not as often. Yeah. Oh, nice. As a gift. Yeah. Interesting. I would say that one right there is an interesting one. The big one. This guy here. I don't see fear. I see a little more like chaotic nature in it. Although I didn't do that. I didn't do either of these. These were both. Well, I guess you could call them kind of gifts because they should have cost a lot more than I paid. Yeah, that one right there. I think that one looks like an octopus. I couldn't figure out which way I wanted to put it, and there's no way I can hang that, so I got to kind of have it sit on it's too heavy, and I live in an apartment, I'm not going to do all the wall hanging shit with it. This one, though, was done on lighter material, so I could hang that one. This one I like a lot. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah. So influence. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. Influences for artwork and creativity. See, I like that idea. Satan looking into a storm is kind of equivalent to a ditzy girl looking at puppies. I think that would be equivalent. If there was an equation there, you know, like, oh my God, it's such a cute little puppy. And Satan's like, oh yes, a storm. Yeah. There is, you know, as much as the world is not as much of a dual world, everything's in duality. It's really not, especially but there is an idea of, there is a counterbalance to things. So unless you have that counterbalance, creativity doesn't. Friction causes fire. Yeah. So there's got to be that. Although I think there's much more than two aspects to the realm. It's not just good or bad. Have you ever played Chinese checkers? There's 5 different positions you have to think about. You play anything more than 2 people, any game that involves a third, and I'm sure you've had an argument with. If you never sat down with 2 people and you all had 3 different opinions on something, then you go, wow, look at that. It's not duality anymore, huh? Oh man, roller coasters. I've been on some of the biggest roller coasters. I don't know if you've ever heard of Cedar Point in Ohio. It has like some awesome roller coasters. But I don't prefer theme parks anymore. I think it's because it just wastes. To me, it just wastes the adrenaline. Like people that are adrenaline junkies, I think that, you know, when you add that much into your system, I don't like uppers anyways. But whenever you're on a high, like doing something that gets you there, like running or playing a sport or whatever, yeah, that's fine. But I think that roller coaster or whatever's at a theme park, I think it just that blast through your system, that fight or flight, fear kind of base thing, I think it's mad wasteful, and I think you're probably putting your body out of whack pretty hard. It's like why when you're done at a theme park, are you so tired? It has nothing to do with it was hot outside and you're walking around all day. Shit, I've walked around all day when it's hot outside, hotter weather, walked around more miles, and I'm not that tired. Theme park, oh, you're spent because you've just exhausted so many chemicals in your system. Not to mention all the crap that you've probably eaten, but it's mainly the adrenaline spike. I'm sure there's studies done on it, but I wonder about the next day if there's some sort of maybe, I don't know, depression or something that goes along with that. Like what would be the opposing chemical there? You know, it's kind of like if you go to a festival and you put certain things in your system, the next day you're going to take 5-HTP to get your serotonin levels raised up again. Oh, so you've never played Chinese checkers? Chinese checkers is a cool game. I don't know that I've ever actually played with 5 people though. Maybe. I'd have been when I was way younger. Because it would have to be at a proper gaming table. You know, you'd never just sit around and play 5 Chinese. Yeah. And to get that many people together, to get at least 5 people together at a party, like Chinese checkers, you're not gonna maintain when everybody's out drinking and doing shit. You need a shorter, quicker game. What's up, Ninja Turtle? What is going on? Well, hopefully, what is going on is I will be having my other channel back, perhaps tomorrow. I think that's when it was supposed to. I thought it was supposed to be yesterday, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the benefit is if they keep it off longer, then all of the strikes that are against it, they can't strike my thing again right now, but they'll be off. So that's the benefit to that. But yeah. Anyways, still got this one. Here I am. Woo! Well, it's a good day though, huh? How's everybody else's day going? Or what should we talk about? What kind of show you guys? Oh, you saved a lot of my videos. Cool, man. Cool. if you do want to, some other people have saved some of my videos. I could probably, if they really destroy my channel, which I'm thinking they won't. You know, YouTube has left my stuff up for long enough, and I think there's enough people at the YouTube, if anybody has any influence there. I have 3,000 plus videos. I don't think you just trash my channel over a couple stupid videos. But hey, if you and if you get a chance, whatever's left on there, because I took some down, the ones that are already grouped together, like my early stuff, I would only say make sure you download those. That way, if I need to, I can revisit those, or maybe go to like my popular ones or something. That way, if I'm like, hey, can I revisit those, and that way I can just redo them, because there's a lot of the, like, some of the longer ones are just me rambling on, and I'll talk individually to people and talk all about all sorts of different things, which are great. But I mean, who has time to listen to fucking 5 hours of me ramble? The earlier ones are a little more concise, and even those I could probably make even more, you know, condensed. Colin Curry, what is the reason for blocking my main channel? Terrible algorithms that say that medical misinformation was one time. That's mainly it, medical information, which is insane to me. Very much insane, because I've very much said, here's my opinion on things. I am not a doctor. I am making no medical advice. I'm giving, you know, this is just my way of seeing things. So I've just don't even speak of that. So funny enough, my early videos, a lot of information on health and well-being that's not touched, because it doesn't deal with certain things. If you get my wink, wink, nod, nod. So, and that is kind of the wheelhouse of things that I discuss with people to help them with. That does, you know, garner me a little bit of currency. Hey, everybody wants to donate, PayPal, Cash App, blah, blah. It's me. And I need that. I appreciate it. I mean, do I need it? Yeah, kind of. Money does help. So then people are like, oh, what the hell am I going to give you? Like, what do you know? Like, well, I can't really explain it on here because they'll cut my channel down. What makes me noble? I don't know. I'd never even considered that in this age of oppression. You know, this is just how I am. I don't see much of a reason not to be like I am. That's about as much as I know. Oh, Yadaku, thanks. That's awesome. Hello, Melissa. What are you doing? Yeah, critical thinking. Yeah, really. I mean, but I do everything live, and for me to, I don't have space. Everything I do live on my phone, I don't have enough space to. I don't have like a backup, gigabytes on gigabytes. I don't know where to put it, and to download everything, it would take me, like, on this computer, I don't have enough room. I could get 2 videos on this computer. It's an old junky computer that, after taking 6 hours to upload it back to me, and then to put it on a, you know. So that's, and how long would it take for me just to click on all of my videos and like, download these please, or upload these please, and, you know, what, 8 months later? I mean, how long would that really take? I would need a faster computer and all that garbage. Do I know who Samantha Muat is? No. Yeah, I don't know. Colin Curry, kneading. I like how you kneading it. Yeah, I don't know. I just, most of most of what I say is just goofy, or it's my opinion. You know, it's not. I would say most people agree with it. People that don't, then don't listen. My opinion is so far what it is that either you agree with it or you don't. And if you don't agree with it, I'm not going to magically talk you into it. I don't do that. I can't. It's an impossibility, because if you can't see the logic and the steps that I'm taking to come to conclusions that I do, there's nothing I can do about it. So it doesn't. And my channel was already, probably 2 years ago, my other channel, I stopped getting new subs completely. Just done. So my channel would probably be way bigger, but the fact that they did that is I think good enough. Just let me keep my channel with a small group of people that pay attention. It's not like I'm affecting the general population, the mass public, to go, oh, he must know something. No, he looks like a dirty, stinking, long-haired hippie, and he says weird things. He uses foul language, which they don't care about. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, Gattaku. I mean, well, that's, I mean, that there's a whole thing about that happened a couple of years ago with different channels, especially YouTube. One because they were talking about the two different things that you could be, as a hosting service or as a website doing something else. I forget what the thing was, but basically they can't claim both. And so the way that they were using their platform is like against how you can run it. They can't, like the censorship and all of that, they can't really do that if they're hosting it in a certain way. I forget what the whole thing was, but it's basically like they're going to continue to do what they want. It's owned by Google, which is owned by the Alphabet Corporation. The Alphabet Corporation, like, who's going to tell them not to? Like, okay, whatever. Go to a different site then. Yeah, Yadaku. All of that, to me, all of that is, I don't really want to get into the politics and the rest of it right now, because I just don't really. There's nothing, like, I have no horse in the race. I got no say in the matter. It'd be like telling Tesla to stop making Teslas. Have I considered doing interviews with other channels? Sure. I mean, I have in the past. A couple people that their channels are shut down. A couple people that didn't continue doing YouTube anymore. And the larger channels, if they happen to know who I am, do you think they really want either? I mean, some of them might. You think they really want to talk to me? See, because what's the chances? Like, I don't want to screw their channel up, right? My dumbass coming in there voicing my reckless, insane, bizarre, abstract opinions on how things work. Or should I put a suit and tie? Here's the logical progression of how systems work. What am I drinking? Out of this wonderful, wonderful handmade clay jar, a little bit of tequila that I had left over from Worldwide Tequila Day. So I got up and had a cup of coffee, which, if y'all don't know, I don't drink coffee that often. But when I do, it's much of an upper, and I don't prefer too much. So I need to. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. This is all not glazed in here, and then this is all glazed out here. Yeah, it's pretty badass. And then I just do a little tequila or a beer or something, settle that down. Perfect. I think most people should wake up, have a shot of espresso and a beer. That's life for people. Hello, Hannah. Oh, yeah. Oh, if y'all don't know who Hannah is, hey, Hannah, why did you change your name from what it used to be? because that's harder to find. When I tried to look you up, I was like, how do we spell her last name? I was like, Abracadabra. Maybe you should call yourself Hannah Abracadabra. That would be easy to remember. But what did you go by? Something that was easier to find. It would just show up because, yeah, go by Hannah Abracadabra. That's fun. Oh, and if you don't know, she's and does everybody know who she is? She's very good at reading tarot. And you'd have to look at some of her old videos to see who she is. Now she just does all of this. She goes like this. Ooh, look at all these pretty cards I have here. Ooh. She's doing like mudra hand magic on you. You do have decent hands. I don't know if you were ever a hand model. You could probably go get your hand. You could probably get your hands insured. Yeah, as a tarot reader, as a hand model. So yeah, I mean, Hannah, if you want to, I haven't really read tarot in a long time. I do have my decks out, and I gave a couple good ones away, man. That's a problem with like sharing things. Sometimes I'm like, I look back, I'm like, damn, why did I give that away? A couple good ones, but I still have, I think, three decks left. Use your hands to conserve energy. What do you mean? You just don't want your whole person on camera? You think that's somehow like when they used to say that if somebody takes your picture, they're capturing a part of your soul or something? Oh, I mean, to a degree. There's some people like don't want pictures taken, but like ancients, like don't take my picture. If you don't want your picture taken, just be invisible, I guess. Oh, that could be cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The Zoom. I think my year membership might have run out. I might have to get another one. So hey, everybody here, let your friends and family know. Donate to my ass so I can get another Zoom so we can do Zoom chats. And I don't know about Discord. Huh, we'll figure it out. Cool. We can do that. What's your tarot cards for weather? Yeah, that's an interesting way to do it, I guess. Yeah, it's when it's this hot outside, speaking of the weather, it's like, I think it's probably got to be about 94, 95 right now. And it's so comfortable in here. It's the perfect temperature. My air conditioning is working this year. Last year it was not working so good. But I know as soon as I go outside, I'm just going to start bleeding sweat everywhere. Ninja, have I ever done that? No. I've thought about trying to. Here's what I've heard from other people. There are certain places that they're running on different realms. You think it's just the physical location, but if they must know, obviously. They know about the other realms and astral levels, that they'll put something there to block you. However, it's been a long time since I've really focused on making that part of my dream world. Rather than, like, I just like to go to sleep, maybe have a couple ideas, and then I can dip around and have some interesting experiences, remember some dreams, sometimes get out of body. But unless I were to do it consciously for a couple weeks to get to the point, and I'd have to eat different, I'd have to be on different sleeping patterns, and that would have to be my focus for a couple weeks to even get to the point where I'm focused, I'm in my dream, I'm in my astral body, and here's what I want to do. And then even after that, getting there, that's a whole thing. I don't know if you've ever been, but like walking is easy. Once you start flying, you can immediately get you'll wake yourself up because it's such a thrill that you're flying that you got to adjust your speed, which is tough to do. Once you get used to it, it's easier to. But to get there, and then you'd have to do it multiple times to even see how you'd get in there. So, yeah. I've heard people have done it, and then other people say no. There's lots of different stuff. You know, have you ever watched any of the shows like on magic? And then there's like a magical space, and then they're in that realm and they can't access it because there's astral locks and, you know, this key to this, and yeah, there's still that, just like there's on a safe. Yeah, no, you know what? For me, all of the weird shit that goes on, I don't put any, I don't put too much weight into it. I don't really care because if it's, I know it's tainted, and I know it's tainted on purpose. If we just broke it down to something as simple as think of all of the so-called wars and things that have gone on in the world, and all the travesties and bad, I don't think they're anywhere near to what's written. So they write a story that is much more fantastical and crazy than what really occurred, thereby causing people to fear more. Fear is a mechanism for controlling people. So I don't, and as far as like what the Civil War was, like I'm not buying half that story. That was to destroy ancient architecture. When you get into, you know, the different world wars and why and who, and like then you start looking at some pictures and you're just like nothing here is making any sense whatsoever. So the entire narrative, the entire history, and including like what we think we know about people in Hollywood, people in that are popes, and I'm not saying they're good people, I'm not saying they're bad people, I'm not saying they're good entities. I'm just saying that any story that you hear, why if the media is on beneath and part of the team of the Vatican and part of these other societies, secret or not, they're not going to be out saying shit that's not supposed to be said. Meaning, here, just make up a stupid story. What? Here, make the most bizarre story you can. So, I don't buy into it. You'd probably meet these people that I probably like nice people. I don't know. Maybe you can't say otherwise. When they're all on the same team, like if you're in the NBA, you think that's not a brotherhood. It literally is. They're part of the same. You work for the NBA. You don't work for the Philadelphia 76ers. You're part of a bigger club. You're not doing something against the club. Just what it is. Yeah, okay, there you go. Mm-hmm. What to do today? Ducks. Interesting, Melissa. I've never heard that. I have a, I don't know. There's a lot of people that are they're they can get out of body and do certain things, but they're already part of the thing too. I don't. It's hard to say because when people start talking about how to put it exactly, even within those camps, there are people. There's two types of things that are controlled opposition, which is literally the person is there and they know their job is to will direct the narrative. Even though we're on the other side, we still need to these couple things. We got to steer this way, which means we can talk all we want about these other realms and things, but if somebody's still on this, those things are actual right there. That thing you're looking at is a little ball flying around, and this thing is not the, you know. Then at that point, you just go, okay, well, I think that everything else you're saying is going to be not really. If you tell me that is a light source from somewhere else that is a realm over there or perhaps out there, then we can have a chat, perhaps. But you know, then what you have, so that's you got those plants of controlled opposition, and they're usually going to be pretty decently sized channels. And then you have other ones that they allow their channel to develop, and then they have nothing to do with it, but they've been following the people that are planned and compartmentalized, controlled opposition. They've been following those, and they just repeat what they're saying anyways because it made their channel big, and they have no clue. They think they're telling 100% that this is what it is. So there's people that are not in on the whole thing that are out there with decent sized channels talking about stuff that they have no clue. They don't have, they're not at that pay grade. They're not privy to that kind of information truly. You can make assertions. You can assert that this is, and here's the probability of, but nah, these people ain't got that information. They're not able to access it, especially people that a lot of people in the community of the love and light. Here's how to, here we're getting on a body. This is what we do, and there's a few of them that are pretty popular that you'd probably go, oh no, that's, and I go, no. I don't like to name names, but it doesn't really matter who they are. There's some much larger channels that are into that they're saying everything sounds good, but there's some underneath thing that I'm just like, no. There's something that doesn't quite sit right with what they're doing, because they come across as something inauthentic and something that's they're pursuant of some goal or some, like they're not saying it for like, they're not in conversational story mode of here's some information and here's how I think it might help. They're just literally telling, they're guiding something for a reason, and I don't always like that, because some people I don't like where they're taking people. Here, interesting. Somebody that I really like, Ben Stewart. He I don't understand this. He made some of the biggest, greatest, conscious, moving documentaries I've ever seen. Anybody know who this is? Ben Stewart. Ben Joseph Stewart, I think. And now he has a channel, and his channel's no bigger than mine. And I don't understand that, because I'm like, how does everybody not know who he is? But then when he's talking about, like, he talks about very, like, I agree with most of what he says. But there's something that's buggy with his eyes that I'm like, it doesn't sit right with me. That maybe he's done too many drugs. I don't know what it is. He says a lot of great things. I agree with most of it. But then he says something about somebody that's part of the news media that he agrees with, that he likes. I'm like, how can you say that? Every single person in the media is a repeater. They're not on the team of the masses. He said he liked Crystal Ball. Her name is Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball. Krastal, whatever. CRY, whatever. Crystal Ball. Oh, I liked what she says here. Like, no, you can't. You can't. That's not allowed. Everything she says is complete. Yeah, granted, they can't just always say something that's nonsensical. They can't just always be in. Oh, you will listen to the crystal ball. Like, how do you even listen to that? Okay, of course, I could watch the news every day and go, well, I agree with that. Somebody that I don't even like. All of them. You got, look at your boy Biden, right? I'm gonna say I agree with him. He's probably said some things I agree with, but you can't just always say everything that no one agrees with. That's the trick. And if they're on the media, you can't quite. You don't know. So that upset. That kind of frustrates me. I'm like, I have nothing against the people in Hollywood, or the media in general. But if you don't understand what their goal and focus is, and who are you working for? Number two. Like, what is the esoteric agenda? What is the agenda? Esoteric agenda, I think, was a little better. But yeah. What about ducks? Hannah. What are you talking about, ducks? I should go feed the ducks. Yeah, I'm gonna change my gear and have duck feeding gear on. What time is it? It's 11 almost. Yeah, I'm gonna get some duck feeding gear on and prepare to sweat. A brute ginger yuzu infusion. That sounds awesome. Yes. Hannah goes, yes, go feed the ducks. You will now go feed the ducks. Yeah, I'm going to go feed the ducks. That is. I'm just prepping for well, I'm waiting for my, this is what I was doing. I forgot to charge my speakers, so I plugged them in earlier. Got to get my speakers in order and put my bag together. Maybe get a hammock. But see, once I go out there, there's no more of this. No more of this. I can't do this from my phone right now. Foiled. I'd much rather do this outside. It's Duck Days. The Duck Dynasty. Okay, I'll kick it with you guys for 20 more minutes. We'll make this an hour, and that should give me enough time to. My speakers should be charged by then, and then I'll be out of here. What else? Branches. Matrix sounds feminine and demiurge masculine. Matrix is feminine, yeah, sure. Because it is the womb, it's the mother, Matrix. And it's like the backdrop for everything, like Mama Earth, like the, yeah, sure. Feminine is kind of the, what would you say, as we were talking about writer's block or painting or something, it's the canvas. That would be the feminine, and then the pencil, the pen, the instrument to draw with, that would be the masculine. You're spitting something out, drawing something. That's the masculine electrical art. The magnets of the canvas would be more feminine. It's receiving the energy of the masculine. It's producing the energy on it. You could think of it the opposite way, like if you're forming something with clay, it's much different if you're carving something than forming something with clay. I think Alan Watts says it the best when he's talking about the potter and the way that the world was made. You see, you're either molding or removing or building. You can structure something and build it together, or you're removing something. If I have a block and I'm removing from that block to create something versus molding something or putting things together, is the opposite direction that you're building. But as per usual, no matter what the material is, and however you think things are being built, the only way anything gets built is because of your mind. Nothing would occur. Nothing could occur were it not for metaphysics, for the mind, for the thought. You don't do anything without thinking about it. Machines aren't made without the mind. Seeds that they could grow without us being here, but everything else. Melissa, you like clay on a spinning wheel? I've cast a few. I've thrown a few things. Yeah, I mean, nothing. You would never make a, if it was not for your thought. Well, and you were here. Somehow you got here, and somehow you just poof, and you're into existence. You would have to think to create a lean-to. You'd have to design and build anything after. Now, let's get back to nature. Let's just let nature take its. No, then you'd be naked and in the forest, and it'd be cold, and you'd step on things that you don't like stepping on, and bugs would be biting you, and tigers would be attacking you. Like, no, you're not. This whole yes, be part of nature, rewild yourself, and all that. This is very good, but people go too far with it. I've gone on that long yarn many a times. People say, oh, they want to be off grid and they want to live on but they're not. They have solar panels. Right there, you are not off the grid. You bought solar panels that are made from plastic you're not off the grid. I get what the purpose is, but what I'm saying is the connection to how these things are built. You're not building the tool from scratch. Until you're building the tool from scratch, you're not off grid. And none of anything anybody's building, they're like, well, they got a saw. I was like, no, you didn't make that saw. Where'd you get that from? You got that from the hardware store. So you need that hardware store, which means you needed whoever's making the blade out of metal. And how did the person make the metal? There's a whole litany of things that no one's off grid. Like I get the meaning. I get the meaning that be as less reliant on outside sources, like go start your own garden and have a solar panel is fine and all of that, the generators and all that. But hey, when those batteries don't stay charged anymore, how you know how to make a battery? You know how to make a battery cell? I'm gonna doubt that. Have I ever heard of guitar? What you mean, Ninja? Digitaria and guitar. I don't know. What's up, Katie wants? Well, here I'll upgrade you. Katie wants to from placebo to nocebo, and from so the nocebo is the opposite of placebo, and I think that's as important, if not more important, as well as people's tendency to believe that the world is not working in their favor, that they're paranoid. The opposite of paranoid is pronoid. To think the opposite, that everything is working in your favor because the universe will only do things in your favor to work for you, and which is the opposite of the placebo. It'd be nocebo. So I think those are two big things that people should focus on. See, if you understand metaphysics, that everything is mind, right? Yes, there's a physical thing that's going on, and of course, if I hit this ball into that ball's going to go. Yeah, we get this, but the mind could affect that if you knew better. You must realize there is no spoon, that kind of thing. But in the idea of there's a placebo effect, that there alone explains away the power of the mind. I mean, it doesn't explain away, it points to it. That somebody says, no, well, why didn't it work on somebody? Well, there must be 1,000 different physical things that are going on that didn't work on them, the placebo. It didn't, or it did work because they thought something. That's proof of what the mind is doing. I mean, you can have your mind do a lot of different things. It can release different chemicals in your body. You can focus and think different ways. There's a lot of things that are going on internally that you can adjust, and externally too. Yeah. Katie, Melissa, you saying too much weed for you? Yeah, Katie, did you change your name? Do I not know which Katie you are? Because I'm not familiar with who you might be. I'm guessing I know you from my other channel, and you have navigated your way over here, or am I just unfamiliar with your name? Yeah. Melissa. Yeah, turn into pronoia, and yeah, too much. I've done plenty of videos on the weed thing and not being what we think it is anymore. It's too. There's too many strains to it. There's too much dividing it up and cutting and making it this and this and this and this. It's too specific. What do you mean it verifies it? Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, Katie, do I know you from here or from my other channel? Or did you change your name? Yeah, I mean, why do we yeah, I mean, you're talking about weed, right? Yeah, not everybody just they did the 180 on the weed, right? Hybrids. Well, I'm all for hybridization of things, but weed has been really effed with even beyond hybridization of things, or I'm all for different kinds of flowers and things. Great, great, great. But they're so ailment. There was it's so ailment specific at this point. It's too, the people that are selling it know, they know, oh, this is the flavor and it's all this and that's, here's where it comes from and here's how it's grown. Yeah, man, this is really great. Like, yeah, but you don't know what it's doing. Like, tell me about the 9 beta tetracycline 8. You know, you don't. And how is that affecting? I have an ailment with my elbow that's this, and I would like to. If you just go back to the root source and like, what was the mother seed, the heirloom of what was going on here? Yeah, you got different places. You might have a couple different strands, but you know what happened? What happened back in the day when I get that backyard boogie? I get that homegrown, and I could get the mids, and I could get the heavyweight green, like the stuff. You know, that was the size of it. Now it's like 8,000 different things. We have 8,000 different. You know, I don't remember weed causing so much. Like people like, I don't even like that kind of weed. I've smoked. What did I just get dosed? Ninja. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you know, hey, Melissa, if you know what it's specifically used for, then great. You know, if people need a relaxed mind, or people need an appetite, or it's specifically for a type of pain, then, and you know what it is, and you can use it properly, and then of course. But it's no longer just weed. It's like a whole different arsenal of things that do different. You know, you don't give somebody cayenne that is having a heat stroke, but now you can do that with weed. Weed used to be like an overall, like, overarching, here, you'll be fine. Smoke this, it'll help with most everything. Ninja, 2,500 for 2 weeks. Okay, you give me the baseline for. Are you talking about airplane ticket and hotel and then spending? Start me with that. You give me the baseline cost for you. Tell me what baseline is, and then tell me how much you think you're going to have to spend, and then make that easy. Like now, I don't know when you'd come, but depending on how nice of a hotel, you're taking a train. Okay, train's going to cost you next to nothing. I mean, not that a plane would now, anyways. I want to, like, next to nothing out of 2,500, like a couple 100, 200. Well, because you got to get back. So 200, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where you come from. Yeah, I mean, you could camp for free anywhere. You wouldn't be able to camp in New Orleans. You'd have to be outside a city proper. This is a city. I mean, there is places that if you were being really, if you were being like, just, you could find places to set up a small, you just got to be, you couldn't just sit there for 2 weeks though. You could set it up and be kind of like near things, but kind of off the beaten path, and you'd be good, but you couldn't just hold up there. But if you're talking about like you want a hotel room, or you saying like that, because other than that, you're not going to be able to just set up camp unless you get outside of city proper. Like there's only one spot that has, it's an RV place. I don't even know if they have campsites. I'm pretty sure it's just RVs. Other than that, man, you'd spend more money every day getting back into town. Belushi. But yeah, I mean, like if just to get here and get back, if you're not spending any money on, I mean, there's a few things that go into that, but there are places that are, what are they called? Not You'd have to look up dog-friendly ones, but there are some dog-friendly, what do they call those? Hostels? There are some dog-friendly hostels. There's a lot of places in the city that are dog-friendly. What are those going to cost? I don't know what they cost right now. There's one that I went to. I mean, I live here, but I don't know. I think it was like at the time maybe $70, but that was like, and maybe it was even cheaper than that. That might have been for 2 people. There's some places that are pretty inexpensive, but 2,500. I mean, if the only thing is like, what do you? Yeah, but if Ninja's coming and doesn't have a car, then the getting back into town, like if you had a car, then staying away from New Orleans to get back in, I mean, it really wouldn't even save you money that way, because then you got to pay for the gas and the time that's going to take you and the inconvenience of the whole thing. And like, are you enjoying New Orleans? Because you're not going to drive all the way back to where you got to go. That's going to be unsafe. Katie, Hip Camp? I never heard of that. Is that like a place? Is there like a... I mean, there are some places that you could probably find that are like hippies, you know what I mean? Like that have shit. I mean, a friend of mine just asked me to help him build something that he just got some property, and he's like, I want to build the thing. It's a kind of commune-esque. We got places like that are just like a lot more hippie than I am. Even though most people would say I'm a hippie, I'm not really. Yeah. There's a lot of places like that here. The getting in there and staying there, it's like, I don't know. I could make a couple phone calls. I mean, if you just needed a place to stay, but you don't really care, like, yeah, but I don't think you'd want to stay at those kind of places. You want to sleep on the floor with a bunch of fucking junkies. What? Hey, Hannah. What do you mean? Wait. Me before your friend? What are you talking about? Hannah, what did you mean? Wait. You before my friend? I'm. You got to help me with what? Define your terms here. I don't know what that means. Who's my friend? What am I waiting for? Yeah, Hip Camp sounds awesome. Yeah, all I'll say is though, like they're. Oh, yeah. Well, when is that going to happen? I don't know. When do you want to do that? There's actually a couple of people that are coming here soon. One was going to buy land. You might know him from my other channel. I have to. Well, actually, shit. I just emailed him. I'm supposed to talk to him this week. And another friend of mine is coming down here pretty soon. I mean, getting a plot of land would be build our community. I'll build our community. Oh, okay. Thank you for re-evaluating your wording there. Build me mine. You're like, build me my commune, bitch. Get over there. I can see you just sitting there just sipping lemonade. Get to work. That's too funny. Oh, but no, the dude said it wasn't build an entire commune. It was just some things that because he was like, what do you do? And I was like, here's a list of things. Do you want me to just type them all out? He's kind of laughing, and I was like, I used to build houses. He's like, oh, no shit. Like, well, why would I should come up there and go camping before winter comes. Why would I do this? You could talk to me offline about all that. But why would I? No, it's summer here. It's beautiful. I'm going outside. I'm gonna feed ducks. I gotta get a tan. It's like there's gonna be festivals soon. Like the festivals will be happening. There's a French Quarter Fest, and my backyard is literally Jazz Fest, like literally right there. I could punt a football. Well, I guess it would land in the graveyard, but right behind the graveyard is well, Hannah, are you trying to entice me to move to where I'm from originally, where I don't like the cold? I don't like anything about the winter. Great. You're really over. And there's, you know what? There's trees here. I have palm trees. I got old oak trees, all sorts of trees. Park right there. It's huge. You're trying to entice me with the thing that I said. Literally, I hate the cold. I don't know how that works out well. Then I'd be inside all the time. I'd be like a ratchety old fart. It was a ratchety. No, that'd be kind of, what do you call old people? Like when they're all like ornery, like stuck inside. Like, oh, it's so cold. Why am I go out there? The only thing good about cold is fireplaces and cuddling. Which is great. But I would much rather sweaty cuddling. Sweaty cuddling, if you. Yeah, I think maybe instead of going there, maybe you should come see here. Wait, honey, you said you never been here. There's festivals. There's like outdoors, and it's like some of them are free, and there's people doing stuff, and there's like human activities, and there's parks and lakes, and I got a kayak, and there's a bayou, and there's a river, and there's like all the stuff. Pretty cool. It's pretty excellent here. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ninja's comments here, unless last thing he said was from Florida. Let me see, top chat. No, I want all the chats. Yeah, but if you came from 2,500 2 weeks from Florida, I mean, yeah, it just depends on how much you try to spend on where to sleep and how much you want to party. 2,500 if you're here for 2 weeks, it's 1,400, and you'd be hoteled up. You probably do cheaper than that with like a whatchamacallit, like a Airbnb. Probably under 1,000, really. And then, hanging out with like $50 a day. Oh, you'd be fucking golden. Well, what the hell are we talking about? Tequila, coffee, and I gotta go collect duck food. That's my goal today. I'm probably gonna have to go get duck food and then come back here just to be inside the air conditioning. Oh, Airbnbs. Okay, cool. You know what, Hannah? I used to do Airbnbs when I first moved here. I did Airbnb because I had a huge place, and that was cool. I met a lot of cool people. That was awesome. And then when I lived at the beach, I did Airbnbs. Yeah, like people came and stayed with me all the time. It was awesome. Met lots of cool people. But like now where I live, this is not really. It's not conducive. It's a studio. I would do the Zen experience of this place. I mean, I've put people up before when I lived at different places, but your projections are based upon Airbnbs. And that's kind of the move, though, really. And if you're going to, just double check with me about the area. So I'll tell you if it's walkable, and if it's look at New Orleans is safe, but there's some places that like you just don't want to be in that area, like new, not knowing where you're at, walking home and stumbling around at odd hours. Not saying anything bad would happen anywhere, because it's not. I don't think it's like that here. I've never had a problem, but there's just a couple spots that you'd go like, no, don't do that. It would just ruin the experience of like how convenient it is to get around. How close is the streetcar? How close is the bus line? How close are you like major shits? Yeah. But Airbnb is usually the move, man. Especially whenever you've stayed at Airbnbs, I'm guessing. You can always be like, hey, 2 weeks is supposed to be this much. Can you make it this much? Most people would, especially in this current economic climate. Well, Hannah, I won't have to run an Airbnb Zen experience if we put together this commune, and it's already set up, bro. There's a really great place in New Orleans called the Music Box Village. I don't know that they let just random hippies sleep there, but I'm pretty sure it's a huge space, and I know they do parties there, and it's kind of like it's right on the outskirts of something, but it's close enough to. It's awesome place. Funny enough, I've never been there. I've only seen pictures and heard of like my friends that are musicians that tell me about it. It's like outdoor. It's like close enough, but far enough away. And they might even have like, but at this point they might have like little one-offs that they rent out or whatever. Might look into that. Just checking the weather. So instead of looking at my phone, I'll do the old school. Let me look outside. Is there any clouds? Nope. Oh, so start up in upstate New York. The chances, as much as I'd take you up on that, it's too cold. It would literally suck the life out of me for 6 months here. I don't like the cold. I've done when I realized that there was something called summertime. And know how the human body functions and when I feel best, and seasonal depressive, seasonal affective disorder, and like all of the chemicals and the things. As soon as I realized that I don't have to deal with the winter and being stuck inside and having cabin fever, nothing could entice me to. I mean, as much as just your company might I would even consider the notion. It's just fuck the cold. I would just be miserable for how many months? That can't be fun. And then Sweden and then Croatia. It would be kind of expensive in Sweden. It's pretty expensive, right? I don't think you just up and buy land in Sweden. Isn't everything there like, isn't it like rich white people? Isn't that what it is? Katie, you think that's what said? Go rewatch it. No, go rewatch the film. No, just look it up. It's the Mandela effect. I'm telling you, if you build it, he will come. It's from the movie. He doesn't say they will come. Although I was certain, just as everybody else was, that he's in the cornfield walking through. If you build it, they will come. No, clearly says he will come. It's a weird one. A matrix mentality of communes. Yeah, they're retreats, not an actual commune. Yeah, two different things. You can move to Florida. Good choice. Oh shit! I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were balling like that, yo. I didn't know you had like Swedish money. I didn't know you were like dealing with Swedish fish. Yeah, you love the cold. Damn, that sucks. Maybe you're just cold-hearted woman. I don't know. The cold. See, there's just too many more things that need to be done in the cold. I can understand if you live there and you're used to it, because I have. But you gotta have extra gear. You gotta have extra shoes. You gotta have a dryer. You gotta have extra socks. You gotta have extra, just all the stuff. If you want to go somewhere, you gotta half an hour early. You gotta shovel the car out. You gotta worry about all that bullshit. You're basically stuck inside all of the time, and then you're wet the other half of the time. Then you got to make sure. Then you got to heat your house. You got to worry about getting the logs, and you got to worry about like, okay, if we got electricity, keeping the water heater on all the time. You got to have a big enough water heater. I mean, the list is endless for what you need to do to live in where it's cold. It's the humans are not supposed to live in the cold. Period. Especially you. Especially you. You're melanated. You're supposed to be in the south. Sucked you up to the north. Not good. Not healthy. Not good for your people. Tried to kill your ass. See, some of the white people, they can deal with the cold. They're a different species, man. And that's proof I'm not white. Fuck the cold. The cold. Yeah, I've considered that a few times. I almost bought an RV and stuff, but best thing to consume after you drank too much, like if, in the morning, a hangover, raw honey. As you know, take a bath, do the hot and cold. That helps a lot with the hangover. Charcoal I would do before the hangover, but charcoal can help. Activated charcoal, but the honey is good because you're replenishing a bunch of things going on that your body is depleted of. And if you don't have that, just sugar in general will help, but the raw honey is probably the way to go. There's like certain oils you could put on that kind of alleviate a headache. Certain, like maybe some, if you're not vomity, like mint is good on the forehead. Seasons are important. Seasons fucking suck. Seasons are not important. Seasons are, they only happen that way because where you're outside of the zone, the temperate zone that humans are supposed to live in. Humans were never, ever. Humans not supposed to have seasons here. The cold is not supposed to exist. You can't live in okay, think about it. If you live where it's the colder it gets, the more difficult it is to live because people are not supposed to live there. It's not things grow, you know, like plants and trees and food in the sun. The sun is the carrier of that information to grow food. Where it gets cold, there's no food. Why would anyone even live there? Ugh. You can't win this in chat. Oh, yes, Hannah, you couldn't win it in even a conversation. This is opinion. But well, what I'm giving you is facts. Life can't exist in the cold. Take your clothes off and run around in the cold. Tell me when you die. It's pretty factual. It'd be like, if you had me alone. Well, if you had me alone, you could maybe convince me of a few things. But it'd be like someone telling me that putting salt in your water is healthy. Then I'll win again. Go to the ocean and start drinking salt water. And I'll let you know in about how long that your kidneys will seize up and you will die. There's salt water is not to be drank. Cold weather is not to be lived in. We're not supposed to be running around with boots made out of foam and all these different. It's not human. Man shall not live by bread alone. No, the breath is the spirit. The cold is not the spirit. Oh no, the breath is. It literally means breath means spirit. It has nothing to do with cold. No, you've been deluded. You've been deluded to think that. Who told you the cold? No, that's people that live in the cold that want you to believe that the cold is good. The cold is for the demons, the devils. The white devil lives in the cold. You know, white man is the devil. That's why he lives. That's what. Yeah. The devil. If everything's backwards, the Satan and the devil, the white devil, don't live where it's hot. Motherfuckers live where it's cold, where death is. Yeah, I read that again. Man shall not live by bread alone. The cold is for the spirit. Oh, Rumi? Rumi got that one wrong. All those gurus and stuff, they ain't all right. They contradict each other all the time. Love Rumi, but Rumi came to your cold ass house. Did he really? Yeah, because he was trying to make you feel comfortable in your house. Cold ass house? Shut up. You Rumi really? What? Didn't Rumi die like in the 90s when you were like 8? Rumi. I'm going to call him rheumatoid. I'm calling him rheumatoid arthritis. That's so funny. I thought Rumi was like in the 16 or 1700s writing poetry in Egypt or some shit. Wasn't he around when like Fellini and Falconelli was around? Oh, that's too good. Yeah, but suffice it to say, salt will kill you. Drinking it, eating it will kill you. Cold weather will kill you. It does not keep you alive. The sun. So you can tell me all you like about the cold for the spirit. Well, I'm not into nourishing people's spirits. I'm into nourishing people's souls. That's the sun and that's the soil. And the sun and the soil ain't doing shit when it's freezing the fuck cold outside. You know I find funny about a lot of these gurus. They all used to be the family, like rich families that went to school for like to become lawyers or something. So they're masters in the art of dialectics and like, have you ever heard Ben Shapiro have an argument? He can't win because he's using rhetoric. He's using a specific type of rhetoric that he's really good at. You can't, the goal of a debate for most people is to win, and that's how like these people that are great philosophers, they're not trying to win something. They're just giving a piece of information. But now the newer ones, the newer ones, now they're all trained in the arts of using rhetoric and methods to make a point. They want to win a point. They don't, so they can argue any side. Doesn't matter. Have you ever watched a video on somebody like, here's how to win an argument? It doesn't matter what side you take. He's like, here, I'm gonna show you something, and he goes through a whole list of things, and he's like, I'm not agreeing with either side here, but I can take either position and show you how to win the argument. I'm not using that. I refuse to use that. I would just use a simple statement of fact. Cold weather You cannot plant a seed and grow things in cold weather. I want to put my seed into something and have it grow. Oh, you're assuming Hana was a dude? Oh no, she's a woman. I mean, I said woman. I don't mean like she's like a big woman. I think she's kind of short. Aren't you like a little shorty rock, Hana? No, Hana is she's purty too. She real purty. Oh, I guess that's so funny. That's so funny. You said, "Hey, Katie." That's surprising. You assumed Hana was a dude, because unless you weren't listening to my inflection when I would say something to Hana, then you didn't notice that. I was alluding to living in a cabin where it's about 5 foot. Oh man, when you say about 5 foot, I think we talked about this. This means you're not even 5 foot tall. Damn. Interesting. See, shorty rock, about 5. It's so weird. You know what? When people like how big they come across on camera. Like some people you can tell they're lanky or they're tall or fat, or you can tell when somebody's chubby, but but their size, like I could never tell. I thought when I first saw you, about 5'2". Wait, okay, so you went about 5 and out of 5'2", so you got taller. You got 2 inches taller in 10 seconds. Okay, see, 5'2", very, very interesting. 5'2" is a pretty standard height of chicks that I meet. Really weird. They always be around 5'2". I don't know what it is. Maybe some sort of thing to do with like the Fibonacci sequence of like height and height displacement from male to female. What, you just get 2 inches taller? Do you see, mathematically I would be in direct proportion to your height. Do you know how big I am? Do you know how tall I am? Like I'm sitting in giant furniture. I have to live on a special floor where they make the doorways taller. I can't have the normal size doorways. And this is not a 12-ounce can. This is a 16-ounce can. Or excuse me, this is a 24-ounce can. It's not like the small one. You would come up to beneath my ribs. There are giants in the sky. Yes, I live in the sky. Actually, I do. I live on the movie Into the Woods. No, I don't think so. Oh, are you talking about the one where wait? Are you talking about the one where the kid goes out to live in Alaska? When he goes to live in Alaska and he was living on the bus, and then as soon as he tried to go back to society, he died. You talking about that one? I don't think it was Into the Woods. I think the name was something different. Wasn't it Maybe it was Into the Forest? No. And are you serious? I've seen a lot of movies. I can't remember all their names. Oh, it's a musical. Okay, so what about me says that I would watch musicals? Although I will tell you, there is a TV show that is a musical that just came out. Into the Wild. Thank you, Ninja. It's called Into the Wild. And excuse me. It's called the show is called Shalingdalong. It's so funny because it's Key and Peele, right? Keegan, 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 Keegan and I can't even. What the hell is his whole name? Keegan Michael Peele? Keegan Michael Key. Is that right? Hannah, that is not English. I about you say you would watch a musical, get me. You wanna retry that in any form of a language that I'll understand? I was about to say you would watch a musical and you would get me, like understand you, or maybe try again. I don't know if it's a keyboard or English as a second language, or if you're verb, noun, subject. Anyways, the TV show is called Schlingadong. It's a silly word, and I can't even. It's a place that they go to, and they're in this other world that's everything's a musical. Shimma Ling Dong or Shama. Yeah, look it up. Whatever Keegan Key did, and it just came out. Is really good. I would watch that, and I did watch that. I watched the first episode. It's awesome. It's on Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV. Somebody else had it, so I was watching that. Yeah, she drifted into the abyss, into the wild abyss, into the wild blue yonder. Okay, Hannah, come on, try one more time. I about you say you would watch a musical, get me. That's some. Do you have a Hana robot that does typing for you on these things while you're off cooking biscuits and making jam for the winter or whatever you're doing? Oh, that's good. Drifting sounds cool. Are you talking about drifting like in a car, or you just mean like living life as a drifter? I don't know. I've seen some drifters. Most of them are cool, but a lot of them, no, they're not. They're not doing it out of pleasure. They're doing it out of necessity. It's a different thing. Oh yeah, the Trivium. Yeah, there's a great interview with John Taylor Gatto about, I think it's called it's the 6 hours of him talking, and it's and I think it dives into at one point the Trivium. And if you don't know who John Taylor Gatto is, he wrote Underground History of American Education, Dumbing Us Down, The Fourth Purpose, all about like what the real purpose of schools is. Pretty good. Yeah, Ben to me comes across as a complete robot. Although he just did an interview with Russell Brand that I thought was quite enlightening. That his basis for his beliefs and his basis for his beliefs are really sound. Seems like a cool guy, but his voice, I think he's either a robot or he drank way too much caffeine. I think he snorts way too much coke. It's too wild. I wonder if he ever settles down. Ninja Turtle, would my life be any different if I had pussy on demand? I'm assuming you meant to say. Like if right now I could just be like, call up and just, you're saying it doesn't cost me anything? So you're basically saying live my life like I did a few years ago? I don't know. Perhaps. I wouldn't say too much different. It would. It's got me a lot of good places. I don't know. Like on demand, like if I just hit a button, or you mean this like phone call and just, or go out and like scoop something, like that's part of recently is just the whole bullshit with the thing that's going on. That, and the other is like I just got tired of dealing with the emotional, the whole thing, the baggage of others, and all of that, and just the whole, I don't know. Yeah, but would it be different? In a few senses, I assume. I don't think it wouldn't affect at all the way that I'm speaking or what I'm doing or how I view the world, or and like if I lived in if I could just push a button and it's free, like not like Vegas free where it's just, you know, you got to pay for it free, but it's free because you're kind of at a hotel and you're making money anyways. I think maybe the only thing that would change slightly would be maybe be a little less. Does the pussy come along with the emotional support and comforting, or is it just bang the back out, good day, good riddance, see ya, hasta luego? Either way, I mean, it's a release valve. It's a pressure release thing. Sure, it wouldn't change too much. I guess it would just relieve some stresses or anxieties. I mean, and even at that saying, like, yeah, push a button, I could probably change the way I dressed slightly, trim this up, and interact differently, slightly. And that I could have it on a button. It would be on a phone, and it would be like maybe like 10 buttons to push, and that would be. But then I'd have to change other aspects of the way that I talk and deliver information, and how much would I lose in being funny if I don't take a chance at saying something funny that might not be funny. That's the great divide. That's the saying something that might not be popular right now, but it would be popular if people understood it, versus something like that's maybe some people don't get it. It's funny to some people, others like, no, it's just not funny. Yeah, but then when it is funny, but if I don't take the chance when the time it could be unfunny or unpopular or not understood, I wouldn't say it or do it, and then it would diminish everything about the language and how to speak, how to be. I don't know. That would be a major thing that would change were I to go back to like just scooping up. Yeah, but then more money, more problems, more women, more problems. Because then they'll always get to that point of there's a then you gotta put that, hey Ninja, then you gotta put in there like, is it okay, just push button and there's no emotional attachment and just like see you later on their side too? That's different than if you go, okay, well, they're going to fall in love pretty soon because I'm just good at this, you know? Well, it too much fries the electrical system. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, but here's the thing is, I've ruined relationships because I did not, because I don't every time, because it's tantric, you know. I don't need to get off to enjoy it. But then some chicks are like, oh, did I not? I thought this wasn't good. I'm like, no, it was fabulous, spectacular. It was great. I just want to hold my seed. It's just what I'm doing. And they're thinking in their mind, I didn't do something right to pleasure him. And then that goes right to their head and they think that. And that doesn't work. They have to know, like, I'm practicing. What do you mean? Isn't the ejaculation the points for you? Like, no, that's the point for the chumps that you be fucking. And then that's too much. But on the opposite side, ejaculation is a huge necessity for many, many reasons. Because people, in the opposite way, you could fry your brain out. I don't know how many people lose their fucking minds because they're so stressed that they want to release tension, and they're like, oh no, if I could just kundalini ejaculate in my brain, like, okay, yeah, I get it, but most people are not even close to that. Did I ruin it, or it was just not the right relationship? Well, I'm not saying I ruined it. I'm just saying it was like too much of a, how to put it. If a chick has been with like that's, you know, fuck boys, and their point is to get a fucking nut off, and like their relationship is based on, like, how many dudes are out there like, no, I'm good. I didn't nut. Hope that was fun for you. And how many chicks are not going to be self conscious and go like, I must have done something wrong. And that's it right there. I'm not saying I did something, or that they, you know, it's just for them that was more of like a, oh my God, I'm not doing the right thing. And that's like, and everything became more, am I saying or doing the right thing? Am I not to do you like this? Like that? I'm like, oh, just, it's great. Just what the fuck, you know? Like, what do you want me to fucking nut in like a minute after, and then I'm just some chump that can't hold my. Mm. Interesting. Television is nothing but the trivium refined. TV trivium. Interesting. Well, I mean, I see what you're saying to a degree, but the TV, I mean, we listen to people's grammar, which tends to suck, and then rhetoric, and just listening to that is so, ugh. I can't stand listening to people just argue to argue. I mean, that's what we are now, so I understand that. And anybody logical is deemed a fool. Logic does not exist. I don't know if anybody's been watching what's going on in the past almost 2 years. Logic does not prevail. Immediate emotional impulse response. Candy, must have. This is what they said on TV. This is the correct answer. You know, there's no, hey, let's get some thoughtful dialogue, and let's see if we can come to a better conclusion of what is the better choice here. No. Don't have time. We don't have time for that. But they said it. It's real. I feel like most people just go, they're just like, I don't know what people, do they even have logical progression in their brain anymore? Is everything just like a push button, mouse gets the cheese reality? You ever had blue cheese? You know how long it takes to make blue cheese? Doesn't take too long to make other kinds of cheese. Blue cheese, though? What's better? Katie, celibacy has made your life super simple. Perhaps. Some people think, some people do. Some people went from, I don't think any way is the wrong way, but some people think that that is the answer. If that's the answer, here, let me explain something. If that's the answer for everyone, then the world doesn't exist past this generation. So that can't be possibly the answer. Animals are smart enough to not overpopulate. They do in some places, but as a general rule, the world was working just fine when everything was working the way it should work. Animals recreate, plants recreate, seeds, and as in an area that there are trees, the trees will never overgrow, because as soon as a seed drops too close to the tree, it won't take roots because there's already roots there. It won't get enough water, and it won't develop. It's naturally, organically, the bioacoustics and the spatial dynamics of what's happening there, like how many plants could be there, how many animals could be there. But the idea of an orgasm is an orgasmic life. Like what is to waltz around in doldrum, disdain, and divorced from reality, where everything is like, people that have divorced themselves from like the interacting with nature, life, death, animals and things, and vegan and all this. They've divorced themselves from, they've plasticized themselves, their consciousness. And the idea of celibacy can be good and a great idea for some people, because some people use sex as a addiction or a hinge. And that's just, or maybe you just never had good sex. Or maybe you're so, or maybe some, I'm not saying you in general, I'm just saying for some people, or sex is associated with a disturbing, disgusting, vile act because religion or whatever. Some people are just like, nah, I can't. I've been in so many relationships and that's all it's based on, and I have no connection with, and that's horrible. There's all sorts of reasons people should be and could be and might be. I think it's more intelligent for women to have more orgasms. Women could be celibate, like not being with a man, but women should be having orgasms most every day. Men should not be having an orgasm every day. Men should be having an orgasm occasionally. Women should be, because as a woman has an orgasm, it's internal development of energy. This is why women are magnetic. They pull the energy into them. And that women, after they have an orgasm, they want to go and talk and go do something. Energy. Men, because they're expressive and the energy goes out after they ejaculate, they're tired and want to sleep, because they're the production of electrical force forth, and the woman is collecting it. So women should be having orgasms, whether you're doing, and see, so it should be easier for a woman because you could have multiple orgasms in a sitting for yourself. You don't even need to do it. I mean, is it more fun with somebody else? Usually it is, but for a man, no. A man should hold on to a seat much longer. And yeah. I'm very familiar with Montauk Chia. Yeah, he's pretty correct. I haven't really seen anything that he said incorrect about that. I don't know what he. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he takes the same position on the male as you get older. This is Taoist practice. When you're younger, it's once a day. As you get older, once a week. When you get really old, once a month, because it's supplying. Because what you're supplying as a man, you're supplying energy to your kidneys, which keep your eyesight. Your kidneys and your eyes are connected to your testicles. Those are order. So the resupplying of semen and of the cleansing of blood through the kidneys is very important. So you're supplying energy to the kidneys, resupplying seed, and keeping your vision by not spilling seed everywhere all the time. And you're also electrically discharging your body, which sometimes is a very good idea. You need to discharge energy, but other times you should hold on to that and see what to do with it. As a woman, should be gaining and garnering and recycling internally energy. Have you ever been with a hermaphrodite? As far as I know, no. I don't think I've ever been with the transvestite, nor do I think I've ever been with. I've hung out with people that are either cross-dressers or maybe were post-op, but I've never. I mean, no, not that I know. I don't think so, unless I had really good surgery done. But no, I don't. And usually I don't hang out with people that have to put too much makeup on and do all the things to like. No, I like people that don't wear much makeup, and it's pretty easily definable that they're women. Yeah, you probably wouldn't even second. They're not, and I don't hang out with those like lipstick. Oh, you mean like a hermaphrodite like has both pieces? No. And again, no, as far as I can tell, I mean, no. If there's a protruding dong there, no, never. And I doubt that would be part of my reality at any point in time in this reality. However, if we lived in a world where that was more commonplace, and I mean, why wouldn't it make sense? I mean, those some people are considered to be the gods or the perfect beings because they've balanced out their masculine and feminine qualities, and they have both pieces. Thus, they're Mercurian. Mercury is the reason there's either 7 or 9. You'd call them planets, but they're stars, suns, and moons. Whatever you want to call Mercury is in the center of the realm and is both male and female. The duality of Gemini, run by, Gemini is run by Mercury. And Mercury is the center pole, silver. Center pole is a dual sun and moon, which is connected to Hermaphrodite and Hermes, and Hermes being, that's so. I suppose I would, in that realm, but spiritual ophthalmologist. Hannah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean that is. See, some people say they're untouchable because they're disgusting. No, that's not at all what the point was. Naturally born hermaphrodites are considered to be of a higher spiritual order. I mean, what would you do? You just come out the womb and all of a sudden you got both pieces there. I mean, what would you do? What a great life! You can do either one you want. And then you can't. Then you know what. But usually when naturally born hermaphrodites usually do not have breasts, as far as I've seen. Not that I've done a great deal of research on the subject, but usually it's more masculine figure up here, but both parts. Those tend to be naturally born. You don't see most of the ones, if they're ever into the weird part of the internet, and you see titties usually installed, masculine turned feminine via drugs early and testosterone or estrogen added and surgeries and shit. Yeah, but as far as naturally born, they seem to be more masculine. Yeah. Skull, yeah, you're mad late on this. We're working. Yes, it's gotten to noon. I was only going to do an hour here, but then we started talking about hermaphrodites and I don't know, all sorts of weird stuff. Oh, and Hannah coming to New Orleans to start a commune with me. She's trying to she's trying to influence me to come to where it's cold, and I'm saying it's not a place for the living. I know. Yeah. What do you like? It's a. How about a combine? A combine, is that better? A combine of concubines. Yeah. She keeps saying coming to the Great. I'm not coming to the Great. I've lived at the Great Lakes. Not a big fan of the cold weather. The only thing worth being there is the Niagara Falls. And I'm okay. I'm okay. There's plenty of places that have waterfalls because when it's warm out and you can just jump into that crystal clear pond beneath the waterfall, and we do like skinny dipping, but you can't really go skinny dipping at Niagara Falls, can you? What do I love? You know what? It would, if I hadn't experienced life where it's warm, I would take you up on that. No thoughts whatsoever. You've seen one melted building, you've seen them all. Yeah, I do wonder about that. You think there's something about Niagara Falls that there's buildings there? I never considered that, but I've considered that very much so about a few other places. See, like the I don't know, some of the parks I considered either it was dug out as a mine, like mining operation, or there's a possibility there was already buildings there when they melted, like not Yosemite, but the other one, the big one. Yeah, because it is interesting. What I find interesting is on the American side is up here, and then it just goes, and then there's a farther lake that goes that way. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's some really great dams that when you start to look into what's going on around where the dam is, and you go, huh, interesting. Dams are pretty interesting, especially when they say they were built, like the Hoover Dam. Look at the Hoover Dam. You're telling me that was built when they said? No way. It's like looking at the four big heads of the presidents on the side of the mountain. Yeah, they did that with explosives. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Simplicity, joy, and contentment. Oh yeah, I could do with those things too. I'm all for those things. But certainly, part of my life will include making love physically to, what I'm doing. Obviously, if it's music or if it's designing something, building something, or if there happens to be a woman's body in front of me, which it tends to be pretty much the best option. Katie, why do you think Hana might be a bot? Why do you think that? You know what's funny? You tell me why, and I'll tell you why. I'm 100% sure that I know she's not a bot because she has a channel, and I talked to her. I was just talking to her on the phone a little while ago, like yesterday. So pretty sure that's yeah. Hey, Hana, say something to prove you're not a bot. Tell them something that I told you. Nothing weird. Well, I don't know. No, I told you she has a channel. Go look at her. She reads tarot. We're gonna do tarot. I know her. Never actually got to meet her in person. She might actually be a robot, but I'm pretty sure you don't make robots as pretty as Hana is. You would have to make. See, if you make robots, you got to make them ugly so people don't want to like do stuff with them. You got to keep robots looking like robots. Although apparently there are people that do have. So you got dendrophiliacs, people have sex with trees. You got like necrophiliacs, people have shit with dead bodies, and you have people that like to have sex with machinery. It's a real thing. Isn't Niagara a huge crater? I don't know anything. I'm sure it probably is. I mean, that would prove that it was a building where a bunch of people died in it, I guess. Hey, what? Hey, Hannah, what do you feel like you've achieved? Hannah, didn't we already discuss this? You're not about 5 foot. You just said you're 5'2". You bot? Oh, damn it, Hannah! You've reverted back to botness. Are you a botanist? Yeah, about 5 foot. So I'm about that much taller than her. Yeah, she'd go up to about here, I guess. In case you guys want to know how tall I was. Hey, hey, Katie, if you seriously click on her name and go to her channel and scroll down a little bit, and you'll see who she is. Her new videos, I told you, it's just hands. She goes, "Hi, look at my hands." You could probably just tell from her voice that she's very pretty, but she's actually a living, breathing, I think. Skull, what do you mean sport fuck? She looks sporty? She looks like she'd be a sporty fuck. Is that what you're saying? Does Katie do tarot? Am I missing something? Because Katie told me who she was earlier, but I don't remember whose name that was. I don't remember what the. Can you survive with she legit urine and water? Ninja, I would assume so. I would assume you could probably survive quite good with that. I've done. Oh yeah. So Skull. Did you seen a picture of her? Yeah, she's mad cute, huh? Did you see her? I'm trying to scoop her as my girl, I'm not trying to wife her up, but you know what I mean. I've survived. Okay, well, obviously I know I can survive okay on water for a month and change. I can survive on piss for more than a week pretty well. She legit. Adding that to the mix, I think you'll get most everything you need, especially considering it has a lot of the stuff that it would take a while to develop. I'm pretty sure there's like fulvic acid and some other things that are that you need that you won't start developing on your own unless you're getting enough sunlight and grounded out well. Oh, it's more about personalities than tarot. Oh wait. Oh no. Okay, Katie. Okay, so Katie wants to go, as in your dog wants to go to the bathroom. Oh, got you. So I haven't seen your picture. You're a dude. That's why your last name, the last name that you told me you went by. I was like, I think I remember the name. I thought that was a dude. Whoa, you gonna put me out like that? Sorry, you have to buy me, wife me, and build you 5 retreats. Damn. What kind of shit? What kind of shit you got me on over here? First of all, I didn't think you were property. Why would I want to buy you? What I gotta? What? How many donkeys or camels or pigs or cows do I got to give to your family? Is that we got to do that? I ain't got nothing, so I can't buy you, honey. And then what? And wife you? How the hell am I with what? I'll and build you 5 of them for who? For people? I'll build. Shit. I'm happy to assist in building a bunch of retreats. But if you think I need to buy you, you goofy. If I buy you and own you, I'll you know what, if I bought you and owned you, I'd tie you up in a cage and just leave you there. And once in a while, just throw you a plate of like a whatever leftover garbage the dogs didn't want to eat. Well, hey, you said buy you. I don't know. I couldn't buy you and wife you. That would be two different things. Prostitute you out? You mean like buy you like a prostitute? That'd be insane. I mean, I always probably should have been like should be keeping my pimp hand strong. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's three crazy requests right there. Wait, what? You said buy you? You said you got to buy you, wife you, and then build you retreats. I mean, Hannah, you know who you're talking to. What do you think? What do you think I would say to that? Sometimes when people know me well enough and they ask me something, I'm like, what did you think I would say? I think sometimes people ask me something with the expectation that I might not say what they know I'm going to say. I'm like, you already know the answer. It's not going to just change. Like, don't act, like if we're hanging out in mixed company and you ask me a question that you know that the answer that I'm going to give, don't ask it. That's just the way I am. And I'm not saying here, I'm just saying in general. Like, we're at like a political function for whatever reason, and somebody's like, hey, what do you think of these politicians or if this? I'm like, you're literally going to put me into the lion's den and ask me what do I think about you. Individually, I think they're probably wonderful people, but their job sucks and everything they do is a lie. What do you want me to say? You have no purpose but to serve the status quo. You're not helping people. That would be like, they're like, oh no, wrong answers. Then you were supposed to say, I believe in everything you do, and I think that you're really fighting for the people. I'll say yes to what? Wait, Anna, what are you talking about? I'll say yes to what? What part of that? Why you gotta say? See, why it's 2 hours in on a live show? You're sitting there. You want to just on record? I'll the what? I'll say yes to what? What to giving up 80 donkeys, a camel, and 2 barrels of wine? I mean, I don't what? I know you are. Why must you do this to me? I thought you liked me. I thought you did. Well, if anybody wants to jump in here, as Hannah is getting a kick out of apparently making me wriggle. I'm not really wriggling. I don't wriggle. She's so bad. Katie, nice. So you won that game now. See, I've done that a few times for a while in the summer, and I just find myself in so many places where food is part of what's socially fun, and that's the thing that you're doing, and it's enjoyable. And the thing is, the reason that I do that is because I always know I can get back to the place of sunshine. And like you said little, you never drink water. So what do you so if you eat is fruit for water. I mean, most people really shouldn't be drinking much water at all if we want to get right to it, even though the importance of water for most people is of supreme level. But because it's a sacrament, it's supposed to be used minimally to consume. It's supposed to be gotten out of the juice of the fruits and the wine and the beer and whatever else. That should be the consumption of water for people. Hey, Hannah the robot will call me later. Hannah robot will call me later. And for everybody else that's here, sub to her channel and to Katie's. And I'm going to probably do a tarot thing with at least Hannah, and if Katie wants to come too. And I don't even know. You're a dude, right, Katie? Yeah, maybe not on my channel. I'll probably do it on theirs, or maybe we'll go to like Zoom or something. we'll let y'all know. Then we can have fun doing tarot. I think it seems like a good time for me to get off too, because it's past noon and I want to go get duck food, feed my ducky friends, and yeah, been on here for like 2 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed talking all this mad, crazy, goofy stuff. It's good to see you, Skull. Good to see you, Katie, Hannah, everybody else. And perhaps I will get into a show later today, and perhaps tomorrow my other channel will be back up, which doesn't change much other than the fact that the audio will be good and it'll be on my phone, and I'll be able to do this outside, and maybe more people will show up because it's quite much bigger. Siri and Alexa are the first robot lesbians branches. Yeah, okay. I'm sure we could probably look that up. Someone's already done that back and forth. Where Siri, I know they've already done it where Siri talks to Alexa and they ask it questions back and forth. Yeah. So, hey, Ninja, good to see you. And again, let me know when you're deciding you want to come through, and let me know where you're thinking about staying, and I'll let you know what areas and shit. So yeah, good to see everybody. I'm ass out of here. Do good things. Be weird. Be yourself, because everybody else is already taken. Inspire the world if you can. If you cannot do that, take care of yourself. Bye. Oh, and if you want to, donations are always accepted. Cash App, PayPal, all that. I appreciate it. Toodles, y'all.